take
wow,
it.
wow, wow, wow.
Not.
Let's have it.
I'm serious.
Let's have it.
Stop insulting.
I was wondering where that bad character went to. If I insult your useless husband, what will you do?
Sister, I am warning you.
Oh, good.
I am warning you. Don't you
Great.
call my husband names again.
Your husband is a useless man.
Roll the Dice is the movie I'm reviewing today, and this movie is produced and executive produced by Onyi Alex. The director of this movie is Uche Alex Moore. A quick recap of this movie is Evelyn, who is an elder sister to Helen, started accommodating Helen and the husband due to lack of job and money. Now she started maltreating them. Now the couple have an option to move out and sleep on the street, or continue to live with Evelyn and endure the suffering from her. So this is what this movie is about. You need to watch this movie. It's a good watch. What I like about this movie, let me start with the story, the lesson, and the message of this movie. Very interesting story, very relatable story, and obviously there is a message in there. And the message you can pick from this movie is, how to be tolerant and also support your younger ones, even when the journey for you personally is rough. And this is what this movie talks about, how you can have everything and still lack everything, and you have to still give even when you are lacking. That is a very tough spot to be at. This movie talks really about that. I really understand the character that Ruth was really playing in this movie. This movie is relatable and so sweet. See, it's not easy to be in that position where you have everything and still lack everything. I don't want to give you a spoiler. I want you to go and watch this movie. So it has a very good message in there as well. Performances, obviously I'll give it to Ruth Kadiri. She played Evelyn, the character Evelyn in this movie. See, she is the pillar of this movie. She's the one holding the story together. It's a long time I've seen Ruth play a character like this. I think she played a character like this when she was acting with the Great, when they were fighting, when they were a couple. I think she played a similar character like that. Here, I love it because there was no male character to fight her with, and she was dominating the character. Ruth, Tuale Mama, she did very well in this character. I don't know how Onyi was able to convince her to add this character. I don't imagine anyone who could have played a character like this. She embodied it. She hold that character to her. I was like, Ruth, are you sure this is not you in real life? She played the character very well. I enjoyed her role in this movie very, very much. Another character that I really enjoyed was the second maid that came to support her. I think that maid is from Edo State, because the girl played that role very well. The way it's like, aura for aura. You meet me with weakness, I meet you with weakness. She did very well. The second maid did very, very well as well. I love her role in this movie. About other characters, Onyi Alex was okay. Her character, there was nothing really exceptional about what she was doing. Surprisingly, I love Anthony Wood's character, because I always picture Anthony Wood as that arrogant character. When I see him play arrogant and mean character, he always nails it. So when I saw him here, he was very soft spoken and very calm, very loyal. I'm like, Anthony, are you sure this is you? Blink twice if you want help. That should mean that I love the way he played the character as well. So his character wise was also okay. Nothing exceptional, but yeah, the character was okay. Next thing I love about this movie is the location. This movie has about 3 locations that side the house and the car, so you can even say 2 or even 1. And the house they use was so clean, was so cool, was so calm, was so warming. You could just sense that softness in the house, So I think I love the location they used. Then another last two things that I want to talk about is the time. Thank God that this one is not 2 hours plus. Waiting happy. Wait, what happens to two? What is wrong with 2 hours plus movie? Waiting they happy, waiting they shally. So this movie is not 2 hours plus. You enjoy it. The precision was okay, and you already know what I'm going to say. The size frame of this movie was perfect. This is a YouTube size movie. The size, the correct size, the 16:9 size frame was used correctly. There was no spaces left. Everything was used jeje. So yeah, that was everything and more of what I love about this movie. What I don't like about this movie, guys, if you watch this movie, there was a point where Evelyn could not walk again. She had, a minor accident in the house that kind of lingered her movement. Now they gave her crutches to use to aid her in walking. She never for once used that crutches in this movie. The crutches were always by her bedside or by her sitting. Like, the crutches were there, but she has not used it. She won't use it. Waiting the crutches they do for them. Point where she could have used the crutches to aid in walking. Helen helped her to walk. She was paralyzed. A wheelchair would have done the trick. She could have been in a wheelchair and pushed herself around in the house. It would have made sense. But giving her crutches, a big walking stick or whatever, she didn't use it. I'm like, what's the point of giving her that and she's not going to use it? Like, is it for decoration or is for a buy or for what? So that's one thing I didn't like about this movie. Why are you giving her something she's not going to use? Like, make it believable. A movie is to be make believe. Let's know that the reason why this is here is because of this. Another thing that I want to talk about that I didn't like about this movie was cinematography of this movie. What is that color grading? Violet, dim violet color. What filter was that? Like, it's not bright. What filter? No, come on, tell me why this filter? Why? Is it violet, pinkish? What was cinematography of this movie? For me, I did not like it. This movie could have just stick to the brightness, maintain all the colors in the movie, and everything will be judged. Like, waiting happy to this filter they use in this movie. Why? Another thing that got confusing that I didn't like about this movie was when Evelyn pushed them out of the house. I mean, they eventually got angry and left the house. My question was, James was not working. Helen herself claimed she doesn't have money. So how did they get money to rent a house? If all after this while they want to move, they want to come back, they want to move, how were they saving? Because obviously, if you watch the movie, Evelyn was not paying James enough either. There was a point James was working for Evelyn. I mean, yeah. But how did they get money to rent? Who were they, staying with? How did they move out? Like, how did they survive outside? Like, I did not understand. It doesn't make sense, and that I did not like. Another thing that got me questioning that I didn't like was the site. There was a place he had to go and do manual job. He was working at a site. There are two things actually I didn't like about this scene. They didn't even give us a detail of him working in that site. All we saw was his back, his front. Camera angle of this scene was bad. We didn't see anybody. Like, it's as if they didn't want to shoot that scene or they didn't want to be there. Like, what exactly was happening in that scene? We didn't see him carry anything that an accident happened. We didn't even see him that he was working. We didn't even see people at the side. It was not make believe. They just let us to imagine what happened to him. We didn't even see him carry one block safe. He didn't even go to that side to go and work. So that was one thing I did not like. Lastly, but not the least thing that I want to talk about is the phone call that Evelyn was always making. Who is the person? Who is the anonymous person that they were talking to? I think I made a review before where I said, if we are going to be seeing picture of someone in a movie, that person should be credited. If you're going to be hearing voices of a character in a movie, that person should be credited. So who was Evelyn always talking to? According to the movie, it's like elder sister or another sister of theirs that they were aunt that they were complaining to, and we could hear the person's voice all the time. So the person was not credited. It's as if it's an AI voice, but I am guessing that was a pre-recorded scene, which might be Onyi's voice herself. I'm just guessing, but yeah, of course we should be able to know who is behind that voice. So yeah, that's one thing I do not like. I always emphasize on the fact that anybody you use in a movie should be credited, because the economy is hard. Someone might book those passerby, those cars that we think are not important in a movie. Give them credit. Like, let us know their names. Not be when they die before we'll be saying, oh, so this person was in this movie, this person was in this character in this movie. No, now let's appreciate these people. So yeah, that was one thing I did not like. So on that note, guys, I'll give this movie 5 because the story is good. It has a very interesting scene. You enjoy Ruth character so much. So if you haven't watched Roll the Dice on Onyi Alex YouTube channel, please go and watch. It's a very interesting story. You won't regret watching it. I definitely recommend, and obviously also it's not 4 hours long, so don't panic. You won't waste too much time watching this movie, and there's a comedy in there as well, so trust me, you will enjoy every bit of this movie. So guys, thank you so much for watching my quick review on Roll the Dice. If you have movies that you think you want my opinion on, or you think I should review, please leave them in the comment section. Don't forget to subscribe and give this video a thumbs up. I'll see you all in my next movie review.